好，默默 ，Hello， 默默 ，Hello， 你好，中秋节快乐，中秋节快乐。好，丫丫 ，Hello， 你好，啊，对爱 ，Hello， 你好。好，因为原本是排《绝命异次元》，不过已经破关了，所以就这一盘是投票出来的。今天有吃肉吗？没有，今天我吃，通通都是吃超商，通通都吃便利商店。好，Justin，Hello，Justin，Hello，啊，Justin 今天生日是不是？便当肉，对啦，便当肉是没有错啦。好，Justin 生日快乐啊！刚好在中秋节生日。生日快乐，生日快乐！然后今天玩的叫做 Santa Cota 啊，应该是游戏当中的一个地名吧。宇智波鼬。好，喝水。好，那就新游戏。原来那个图是那个意思。好，开始了。
Father, please don't leave. It's dark. The witch could be hiding in here. Don't do this. I'm sorry if I have sinned. I didn't mean to. Please.
声音大水鸟。有吃到烤肉吗？没有，没有烤肉啊，没有去烤。用鼠标控制器移动光标，按滑鼠左键。底面按钮是什么东西？移动角色。好，可以动了。好，这应该是个小孩子被爸爸关在门外。长按滑鼠左键右触发控制器按钮。图出显示。交互物品，我去哪里啊？哇塞，这是什么意思？啊，这边哦，这个意思。好，所以我可以来到这边。
Mother has dozens of the same in her room. Each has an engraving with a big scary eye inside a triangle.
几十根相同的蜡烛，镶嵌着三角形。这款中译是什么？没有，我查不到中译。
Mother has dozens of the same in her room. Each has an engraving with a big scary eye inside a triangle.
每根蜡烛都在一个三角形内镌刻了一个可怕的大眼睛。好，床头柜为什么？等一下，这么暗是正常的吗？
Nightstand. Mother said they threw it away. There's a matchbox inside the drawer.
抽屉里有一盒火柴，在火柴盒上按下滑鼠左键。
I can now try to light up the room.
圣科尔塔。
Where are you?
Mother, I'm in the basement.
For God's sake, you'll get seated at
地下室哦，不是被关在外面，是关在地下室。
I'm still waiting to hear the prayers, son. What are you waiting for?
You live there? Why would you do that to Joseph?
It's his behavior that did that to him.
声音好小。
It was good all day. He helped me with the weeds and the food
And he talked to a kid.
他在葬礼上和一个孩子说了话，
when did this happen?
所以就被关到地下室了。
See him.
Of course you didn't. Because you don't, I should lock you all downstairs. You all need to learn. Where is she?
誓言反求佛是什么东西啊？啊，在人物头像上滑鼠左键打开物品栏，查看火柴盒，
There are at least a dozen matches inside the box.
按下滑鼠左键选择火柴盒，移动到物品栏外，对着蜡烛使用火柴。
Help! Mother! Help me!
在楼梯上快速按下滑鼠左键奔跑。我跑去哪里啊？等一下哦，声音实在有点太小了。在楼梯上拿，楼梯哦，楼梯在这里。
What are you doing? It's me. I'm sorry. I thought you were that witch. How many times do I have to tell you? Witches don't exist, and it's just the two of us here.
维多利亚，我跟你都说了多少次，女巫不存在，这里只有我们2个人。你错了，父亲不会对我们撒谎。你为什么在这里？我忘不了姑姑惨白的脸。哦，这个就是刚刚爸爸有提到的乖女儿，结果乖女儿其实偷偷跑来这边了。你为什么在这？
Why are you here? I heard Father talking to himself before going to get you in your room, so I ran here and hid. But why? You know he's going to be very angry at you once he finds out.
小麦田 ，Hello， 你好。
Because I've promised I wouldn't let you be alone in the dark again. And when I promise something, you never break a promise. I know. I'm glad you were here.
然后3个都要问一遍。我忘不了姑姑惨白的脸。
I can't forget our aunt's white face. Me neither. She looked so different. Her head was so bloated and pallid, and her eyes and hair so dark. The curse did that to her. Don't be ridiculous. She's at peace now. That's all that matters. I hope she is.
所以葬礼指的就是姑姑的葬礼。这是什么？哦，这是对话记录。父亲永远不会对我们撒谎的。
You're wrong. Father would never lie to us. About what now? About the witch that cursed our bloodline. He's just trying to scare us with stories so we don't do anything wrong. And today you did wrong, so he punished you by locking you down here in the dark. What did I do? I still don't understand.
做了什么？
You talked to that tall boy. Don't you remember? We are not allowed to talk to other people anymore. They are evil. I thought that meant we must avoid adults. How am I supposed to make friends then? Mother said we have each other and God. She's right. I don't think we need anyone
我们
else.
有彼此跟上帝。好，一球三，Hello， 你好。
Land was once such a beautiful
为什么这么黑呀、
full of life, a perfect
是 bug 吗？还是原本就这样？
God. But her fate was nothing more than a Sunday morning rite, and the witch's curse just a fairy tale story. Evil is everywhere, my dear children. It is hiding in the shadows of this world. It takes form of animals, and it possesses people.
Father, please forgive.
You should look up to your sister. Unlike you, she values God and this family.
It's my fault he went to talk to that boy. I ignored him because I was looking into the coffin and I lost sense of time.
You must learn to be alone with God.
学会与上帝独处
You。must
哎呦，
learn. You all must learn what true faith is.
哦，终于有画面了。
I beg you, don't hurt him anymore.
It was
妈
just
妈
a
，Hello，
dream.
你好。
I often think about that peculiar day, but I've never relived it so
经常
vividly
想
in
起
my
那天。
dreams. Why now? Why in this place? I need my glasses. I can't even think without them.
烧几块炭往身上熏才敢出门，有必要吗？不要出门就好了。地板、护照，什么东西？哦，这些是我们身上有的道具。我们要找眼镜。哇
The
塞！
fabric is full of moth-eaten holes, though too small for my glasses to have fallen through.
沙发垫。
The fabric is full of moth.
地板。二代邓布利多也走了，嘿，有看到新闻。
Here they are, fallen to the floor, but still intact. Thinking of the dream I had, I don't remember going to sleep at all. We came in, and then... We came in, Victoria and Nikolai went upstairs to prepare for the castle, and then... nothing.
维多利亚跟尼
I
古
must
拉
have fainted.
为城堡做
I
准
have to
备
talk to Victoria at once.
上楼吗？
This woman eerily reminds me of Victoria in her younger days. This woman...
灯
I checked it last night. It's useless. There's not enough oil inside.
外面
Those tall, dark trees strike me with dread, even in daylight. And it seems like I'm not the only one to have that feeling. The path
白天
ends abruptly
高
right
大
at the
黝黑
entrance
的
of
树
the forest.
干豆腐，等一下，干豆腐，伊恩麦克连吗？是同一个人吗？等一下，不是吧？不是吧？
A cold black fireplace that hasn't been used in ages. The same feeling I'm getting from the rest of the house.
如果是的话，我觉得他不是啦，哈，应该不是。如果是的话，我应该会知道。虽然我没有看《哈利波特》，但是伊恩麦克连的电影我还看的蛮多的。
A cold black fireplace that hasn't been used in ages. The same feeling I'm getting from the rest of the house.
这是什么东西？有一个小点，与维多利亚交谈。我必须和维多利亚谈谈，她在哪里？缝纫机。好，趁现在给加斯汀唱个歌。祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐。啊，今年9月29号，加斯汀生日啊，生日快乐，生日快乐！还有中秋节快乐，中秋节快乐！尼古拉，
Yes, Benedict?
维多利亚在哪里？
Where's Victoria?
I don't know.
不知道。你知道维多利亚为什么要租下这栋阴郁的房子吗？
Do you have the slightest idea why Victoria rented this dreary house?
I don't even know how she found it.
Looks like the owner is some kind of artist, or is at least convinced to be. Very morbid taste.
防灾警报器。
Strange figures.
I agree. I've never seen so many masks in my life, especially not placed on walls.
很多面具。
That's a strange painting.
It is. Take a better look at it and tell me what you see.
Why?
Please, do as I say. I'll get to the point.
墙上有一幅画，要我们盯着它看。阴影，嘴巴。哦，
That is not a mere shadow. It's a symbol of darkness, of evilness devouring this lost man.
邪恶吞噬了这个人。嘴巴
A，snake-like mouth implies a man who cannot be trusted.
蛇一般的嘴巴。
That is not a mere...
还有什么东西别的东西可以看吗？眼睛，
Mean eyes at the edge of a wicked soul.
刻薄的眼睛。
Mean eyes
邪恶
at
的
the
灵
edge
魂
of a wicked soul.
阴影、眼睛、嘴巴，好像除此之外就没得看了。阴影都是同一个阴影吧？
That is not a.
离开。我仔细地观察了这幅画。
I've taken a closer look at the painting.
You don't recognize this man?
I've never seen him before.
And nothing happened to you by looking at him?
Why would anything happen to me?
Last night, after your sister and I came upstairs, she was getting ready for the castle, and I was standing right here, and I wonder, yesterday when we boarded the train, was anyone else in our cabin?
昨天我们上火车的时候，车厢里还有其他人吗？你还没有回答，为什么会有事情发生在我身上？这幅画有什么问题吗？
You haven't answered. Why would anything happen to me? What's wrong with this painting?
I don't know yet. Please, just follow me as I go over yesterday's events. I'll get to the point.
好，只有我们3个人。
Just the 3 of us.
But once the train left Budapest, wasn't there a man who came in?
By placing the sign, "Do not disturb" on our doorknob, I made sure this wouldn't happen. The only time that door opened was when the conductor peered in to tell us we have arrived at our destination.
And when we left the train station, no one was following us? Didn't Victoria notice him?
Notice whom? Your dear wife was over the moon to have finally arrived at Kotar. She couldn't stop talking about the place, but said nothing about anyone following us.
Right. And on our way to the house, we stopped at the square. There was a strange ritual taking
我们
place.
在广场停了下
A
来。
gigantic effigy. What was it like?
And what about the mass of hooded people that gathered there? It was a dreadful scene.
有大量的蒙面人。
Goosebumps when hearing the crowd pray as one voice, though.
Let me tell you what happened after that.
我们找到了通往这所房子的路。维多利亚敲门时发生了什么事？你和你的妻子做了什么？所以妻子就是指维多利亚吗？为什么会有不同的称呼呢？但是总共只有3个人吧？不对，妻子。看得到什么东西？等一下呢？当我们离开火车站的时候，没有人跟着我们。维多利亚没有注意到他吗？注意到谁？终于抵达圣科塔尔之后，你的妻子欣喜若狂。他不停地谈论这个地方，没有提到任何跟踪我们的人。你亲爱的妻子，所以妻子尼古拉跟维多利亚是夫妻吗？维多利亚敲门时发生了什么？
We found the path which led us to this house. What happened when Victoria knocked?
Well, we realized the door was actually ajar.
And the owner wasn't here. Just silence. Dead awful silence. It gave me chills.
找到这间屋子，门是半开着的，主人也不在。在我们进入房子之后，你和你的妻子做了什么？
Once we entered the house, what did you and your wife do?
I said it before. We went upstairs to prepare for the castle exhibition.
Leaving me to wander alone downstairs in complete darkness. You found nothing odd about the house being empty and unlocked?
I did, but Victoria said it's nothing to worry about. So I just followed her.
好，所以他跟维多利亚应该是夫妻。我们从来没去过城堡。
We never went to the castle?
You don't remember?
我记得的最后一件事情是寻找照明的工具，但什么也没有找到。
The last thing I remember is searching for a light. And then nothing.
What do you mean?
I mean, everything after was only a dream, but I don't even remember going to sleep.
维多利亚把我拖进了小镇，让我参加城堡里那个无聊的展览。
Victoria dragged me into this town to make me attend that piddling exhibition in the castle.
明天要上班一
We
天
never went。there, did we? Which means I left the monastery only to spend a horrible night in this house.
We both fell into an inexplicable void. Something is terribly
我
wrong.
们都陷入了莫名的空无，很不对劲。告诉我昨晚到底发生了什么？这幅画有什么问题？维多利亚在哪里？
Tell me what happened last night. What's wrong with this painting? And where's Victoria?
I'm afraid I don't have the answers. What happened is that while I was waiting for her to get ready, my attention was drawn by this painting. Next moment, I was seeing myself relive yesterday's events. With one difference. The man in the painting was there the whole time.
The whole time.
He was in our cabin, And he was that gigantic effigy the inhabitants set on fire. Shortly afterwards, he emerged from the crowd in human form again, unchanged.
所以看到幻觉了，尼古拉有看到幻觉。
The house. Once we got here, he jumped on my back and asked me to carry him upstairs. I was happy. I felt like a father carrying his own child.
Carrying this being on your back must have some weird symbolic meaning.
He was holding so tightly that I could feel his long and sharp fingernails penetrate my throat. After we finally got upstairs, I was so upset and in pain that I had to throw him off. I quickly turned around to reprimand him and instead saw a human-sized crow with no eyes and a blood-stained beak. It croaked at me and then soared inside the painting. I wanted to run off, but couldn't. I was in shock, too terrified. That was the moment I woke on the bed, fully dressed and disoriented.
维多利亚不在了。
Victoria wasn't here.
哇塞，他们念台词的方式真的是很那个，很不像是日常生活的对话哦。那一刻，我在床上醒来，穿着衣服，不知身处何地。维多利亚不在了。你为什么问我那些有关昨天的奇怪问题
Why did you ask me all those strange questions about yesterday?
I had to separate the dream from the real, as the dream was startlingly real.
Startlingly real, just like my own dream.
我们应该立即离开这所该死的房子。
We should leave this accursed house at once.
After I woke, I noticed Victoria didn't even sleep on this bed. So I went downstairs to check if she was there. I found only you, still asleep on the couch, and the door locked. That's when I started to think.
We have to force our way out of here because we don't have the key.
We are guests in this house. And needless to say, men of God. We must leave without doing any damage. I've already searched this floor for a
所以他们
key
出不去了。
and tried to open the balcony door, but it's locked or stuck in some way.
What about the windows?
Strangely enough, or maybe for a good reason, they are made in a way that prevents them from being opened. Stay here and give it a second look. Whatever you can find that could help us. I'm going downstairs to check. Force should be our last resort to leave. Or maybe we get lucky and Victoria comes back in the meantime.
Let's hurry up then.
维多利亚不见了，他们被困在这栋房子里。然后看到墙上的那幅画之后，尼古拉出现了幻觉。
Just don't look at the man in the painting again. We don't want
然后
to
主角则是陷入了昏睡。看到两个头像，可以在两个可玩角色之间切换控制。尝试按下较小的灰色头像以切换这个。OK， 现在是尼古拉来调查，到处都是面具。
I didn't notice this painting in the dark last night. I don't like the look of this woman. It's driving me mad. I don't like...
灯，
I don't need that. My eyes fare better in the dark.
我的眼睛在黑暗中看得更清楚。
The sun is setting. Darkness will be upon us soon.
黑暗很快降临，水波。钥匙
It doesn't look inviting, but I think I see something in
看起来怪恶心的。好，库索菲亚，你好 ，Hello， 你好。OK， 我还可以看画吗？拿下来了，不给看。这是什么？
It's written in an ancient alphabet, which I don't understand. Could this be the name of the man on the painting?
好像也不是数字。刚玩半个小时吗？对，差不多半个小时。
Could this be?
好像不是数字哦。窗帘。
I need light.
门。
I'm pretty sure it's not locked, but rather just stuck. Not sure what's the cause, because both sides of the door are heavily grimed from the outside.
门的两侧都很脏。好，目标是走出房子。好，书。
Codex Niva, Heart of Pagopice, and Dino Tominic. I've never heard of these works.
我没有听过的书。床。好，也可以跑步。OK。
A yellow blanket, wrinkled only on one side of the bed.
碗。
A giant bowl made out of clay, filled with what seems to be some type of oil.
粘土制成的大碗，里面树的油
It's a
画。
giant tree with dozens of corpses hanging from its branches, and skulls that feed its roots.
佛陀小英雄呢？对，有点像，跟我原本预期的不一样。
All I see here is a lonely coat rack.
衣帽
If we
架。
don't find a civilized way to get out of here soon, this rack could come in handy to do it by force.
然后我们也可以直接开启视觉，看一下有什么东西可以调查。啊，这么多，这个很长吗？好像是8个小时左右。门下。
It looks like mud. It has a sickly odor. How did it end up on a balcony? If I could push it back with a stick or something similar, I might be able to open the door.
哦，门下是被卡住了。那我们可以用衣帽架吗？不过还有 DLC 啦，虽然没有买就是了。
Forgive me, God, but I must take this. I think it'll fit perfectly under the balcony door.
好，所以阳台是从门缝被挡住了。我们可以用衣帽架把门底下的东西给捅开。衣帽架这样。
I was right. It fits perfectly underneath. Looks like there's mud on the outside.
外面好
Should
像
be
有泥
enough
巴
to，open the door.
应该可以打开门了。
My God. Nikolai, come upstairs quickly. You must see this.
Coming!
Come closer. Take a look at this.
靠近点看看这个。我们现在是操作尼古拉跟贝内德克。
Oh, God.
什么东西？红色的泥巴，不明糊状物。
What is this? It looks like a mixture of earth, blood, and
Flesh.
what is
泥
this?
土、血液
Flesh.
跟肉块，乌鸦头。
All crows look exactly the same to me, but this one seems to be missing its eyes.
Indeed. Just like the one in your dream.
衣帽架
A rotten wooden stick. I
换
don't
主
get
角，大家都是配角的概念。然后还有的点吗？门，不明糊状物，衣帽架，乌鸦头，分数。哈
it. Have you noticed these marks on the door? They were unnoticeable with the door closed.
I don't think these are just random marks. It's a symbol, and it looks like it was made by sharp fingernails.
门上有奇怪
You
的痕迹
understand now
刻
why I
痕。
wanted to leave the moment I saw this house?
Calm down, Benedict.
I am calm, but we both don't remember what happened here, and we both had horrible dreams. And now this. Can you still smell that sickly odor? Don't you see the connection with your dream?
那他们不能从阳台离开吗？也许我昨晚打开门看到了乌鸦的头，这可能就是我做那个梦的原因。我在水波里找到了一把钥匙，好，直接把钥匙拿出来吧。
Found a key inside the stoop.
The key to the entrance door? Inside the stoop?
I believe so. Haven't tried it yet.
At least I won't have to walk over the devilry on the balcony, and risk an injury by jumping below.
两主角轮流，对对对，就是视点会随时切换的样子。也许我昨晚打开门看到了乌鸦的头，可能是我做那个梦的原因。
Maybe I opened the door last night and saw the crow's head. It could be the reason why I had that dream.
Doubtful. Something else is at work here. The crow looks like it's been recently decapitated, and the mud is still wet. Don't you wonder who did this? And why?
I can't think clearly in here. You think Victoria could be responsible?
If it wasn't you, or even me, who else could have done it? The man from the painting?
I knew it. Come on. You really think she's capable of such a thing? What's the matter with you?
She may be my sister, but I don't know her anymore. I do know she's playing with things she doesn't understand.
所以维多利亚一直在做一些奇怪的事情。他在玩弄他自己都搞不懂的事。他搞不懂的是
She doesn't understand?
Things no one should understand. The symbol, the decapitated head, blood and flesh.
You mean with occultism?
Witchcraft, I believe.
cultism
She's playing the role of a witch to play with me,
巫术。
unaware of the consequences that will
DC
inevitably
Hello， 你
come.
好。
My wife is not a saint, but to think she's practicing demonic things is insane.
你认为他让我们忘记了昨晚，并影响到我们的梦？
You think she made us forget last night and influenced our dreams?
No, but she's the one who picked this house. Not you, and certainly not me. That was a deliberate choice with a plan.
And what would that plan be?
I think the castle exhibition was just a lure. Her real intention was to drag me into this town to play with my beliefs and fears.
You really don't know her anymore. What happened between the two of you? She doesn't want to tell me.
She became the same person our aunt was. Godless and incredulous about our father's words. Hopefully he's at a place where he found peace, unaware of my sister's thoughts and acts.
好，我在楼下找到了钥匙，大概是大门钥
The
匙。
key I found downstairs is probably the key of the main door.
You already revealed your suspicion about the key. Why are you mentioning it again?
If the key is here, where is Victoria?
I don't know and I don't care. She could have locked the door from the inside, left the key, and then jumped from the balcony.
That's my point. It doesn't make any sense. Why would she do that?
I think she found a second key, because no footprints are visible on the mud outside. She didn't
阳
jump.
台外面没有脚印。
Something else must have happened. Let's go outside and make a plan to find Victoria. Our minds are being suffocated in here.
No, I've had enough of talking, and I don't intend to search for her. I'm leaving this town at once.
好，贝内迪克不想要找人了，想要赶快逃离这个地方。你不能是这么离开，看在上帝的份上，她是你妹妹。
You can't just leave. She's your sister, for God's sake.
She stopped being that a long time ago. Just look around and think about everything we discussed today.
I'll say it again. Something else must have happened. There must be a logical explanation to all of this.
你为什么会同意来这里？
Why did you even agree to come here?
Obviously, I wanted to see and feel what it looks like in hell.
I'm not in the mood for joking. Why? She mentioned she had to talk to your superior in the monastery.
And what else could she do? After I declined, the only way to have it her way was to persuade Father Imre. He must have given her his blessings only because of the assignment he had for me. Talk to the local priest about the town. See, there's nothing in the official Vatican archives about Sveti Kotar. And after coming here, I think I know why. Can we go downstairs now? I have a train to catch, and I need to find that priest before then.
I'll accompany you, my brother. It's a small town. We should be able to find Victoria along our way.
所以他们要离开，边离开边寻找维多利亚。就是没有要特意去找，但是离开的路上顺便找一下。想办法离开房子。我必须以文明的方式离开房子，避免造成任何损害。我是一个虔诚的人，我尊重他人，尊重他们的财产。所以我应该把我的搜索集中在1楼。好，所以我们要拿我们的钥匙，试试看钥匙家门。
Before we step outside, you have to promise that once we find your sister, you'll talk to her. There must be no arguments or secrets in this family.
Why do I have a feeling you are not leaving with me?
为什么有种感觉你不会和我一起走？好，就是 尼古拉可能会想要留下来继续找找谁？糟糕，那个人叫什么名字
Can't you reevaluate your decision?
I'm leaving, Nikolai.
我们从没打算第二天离开。他没告诉你吗？这个房子租了3天，维多利亚。
We never planned to leave the next day. Didn't she tell you? This house was rented for 3 nights.
She did not. So much about having no secrets between us. Please, leave me alone.
好，门开了吗？开了。哎，
Good day, gentlemen.
Good day, sir.
My name is Martin Mostov.
Martin
I am a
Mostov
detective in the service of the town of Sveti Kotar.
讲他的头原本就这样子吗？他头缺了一块，这怎么回事？看一下哦，亮度开始分心了。声音、音乐、声音特效，演出很单调，对。相对于演出单调啊，那他们讲话的时间又太久了。好，我本来想看有没有把字调大一点。是发线比较高吗？等一下，他这边是缺，他这边是整个没有他的头的右半边整个凹下去的。好，马丁莫斯托夫，圣科塔尔镇的侦探，我们能帮你什么吗？
How can we help?
Is there anyone else inside the house?
No one. It's just me and him. Why?
Where's the woman?
The house is empty. What's going on?
We came here looking for a woman. Only to
来这里
find
找
two
一个女
scared
人，
men.
却发现了2个害怕的男人。跟你同行的那个人是
And
谁？
who's the man in your company?
Dr. Eric Hatur.
Doctor? Mr. Hatur, is somebody hurt?
Dr. Hatur is the warden of the asylum. He helps the local
收容
police
所
force with his knowledge of
看
the
守
mine.
人。
Not a man of words, Dr. Hatur.
He prefers to keep quiet, just like your friend here.
Are you looking for the owner of the house? Because we don't know where she is.
Hand the key of the house to Mr. Hatur.
Why?
Just do as I say.
头发的材质球跑掉了，不知道因为看这个小画面，就是上面的这个人啊，头好像的确是缺一块。真可怕，这张图。把钥匙交给他吗？哈图尔博士。
I'm sorry. Did you say something?
I heard nothing.
Are we free to go now, Martin?
No, you both have to follow me.
Why?
是啊，我也想知道为什么要跟着你啊？
Yes, I'd like to know as well. Why do we have to follow you?
Orders from above.
How can we trust you to be what you say you are?
What's with the face? You never seen a photo of a man with an intact head? It was taken before the incident.
案发前，你从没见过一个人的头完好无损的照片吗？案发前什么意思？这是案发前拍的啊，所以照片是什么？也没有看到照片啊。
Where are you taking us?
Down to the police station where everything will be explained to you.
What prevents you from discussing the matter right here and now?
I'm not in the position to do that.
所以是维多利
There's a
亚
hierarchy I
出
have
事
to
了吗？
respect.
你要找的女人是谁？
Who is the woman that you seek?
The woman's name is,
Victoria.
What for? Why do you need her?
Sir, everything will be explained to you in the station. Now, if you don't mind, please follow me.
Whatever harrowed you through last night, it'll be nothing compared to what will happen if you do not obey.
贝内德克，你怎么办？你怎么看？我不服从任何人。好了，按要求的做。
Benedict, what do you say?
We have no choice.
All right. We'll do as you say.
Come.
好，自动行走了。然后就变这样了。OK。 维多利亚教堂与镇上的牧师交谈，不过现在大家大概都做不到吧？门。
Let me out! It's pointless to try. The detective has just closed and locked the door.
黑色镜子。
I guess one could get lost by looking at this mirror for too long. It's so dark that I can't see my own reflection.
喝水，等我一下。另一边有人吗？
Anyone on the other side? I have a train to catch.
为什么我要像罪人一样被关在这里？
Why am I being held here like some kind of sinner? Can someone tell me what this is about? I think I heard someone. I did nothing wrong, and you have no authority over me. Let me go!
Place all your belongings inside the box. Push it back into the wall once you're done. Don't try to deceive us. We'll know.
把所有的东西，恐怖动作，我是没有想到说它是以点击为主。我本来以为会是那种就是冒险游戏，可以自由操作的冒险游戏。不过结果主要是以点击为主，这样把所有的东西放进去。好，彩蛋 ，Hello， 彩蛋 ，Hello， 你好。我不会把我的圣经给任何人。念珠呢？念珠丢进去了，护照丢进去了。等一下有丢吗？好，1400 ，Hello， 你好。然后圣经他不肯丢。
I'm not giving my Bible to anyone, even at the cost of being tortured and executed.
这样的话就只好直接把盒子推回去。
I trust you for now, but at the end of the process, you'll be searched.
暂且相信你。
Decisions have consequences in this town, little priest. Now, please step into the light so we can begin.
走进光线下，就可以开始了。
You seem to obey orders, unlike your brother in the other room. Admirable.
He's just a brother-in-law.
So, Benedict. What a strange surname. Dohnani?
Dohnani.
Whom do you serve, Benedict Dohnani?
I serve only God.
We all do. But you serve him in a different way, don't you, little priest?
I'm a monk among the ranks of the Pauline Order.
波林教团。
A way of life in solitude and silence with God. Many believers say it's the only way to be near our Maker. What can you tell me about that brother of yours, Nikolai Kaliakin?
他是名执事。
He is a deacon.
Deacon.
That's not what he said to us. Are you trying to lie to me? How could he serve God if he's married to your sister?
He abandoned the path to priesthood to marry her. Deacons are allowed to serve in both houses.
After such a horrible past, God had to make it up to him.
在经历了如此可怕的过去之后，上帝得补偿他。我对他和他的过去一无所
I
知。
know nothing about him and his past.
I think you're just trying to protect him. It's useless. We'll find out everything we want to eventually.
It's the truth. I barely spoke a word to the man before coming here.
Quite an interesting family.
What do you mean?
His orphanage days. The mass grave they found at the
在孤儿
orphanage.
院发现乱葬岗。
You must have heard about the witch nun from Minsk.
Vaguely. I was very young back then.
Your brother was there. You saw all those decaying child corpses in the backyard. It's horrible just thinking about it.
几点了，警官？
What time is it, officer?
Time is not relevant in this moment of your life.
I'm under the jurisdiction of the Vatican. You have to let me go.
The church can do nothing for you here. You, like everyone
只
else
需要
in
遵
this
从
town,
我和我们的
answer
守
to
护
me
神
and。our patron saint only. Now tell me, what brings the three of you to our little town? It's a long journey from Budapest.
你们3个来这边的原因是什么？从布达佩斯到这里是一段漫长的旅程。 我们被邀请参加城堡的展览。
We were invited to attend the exhibition at the castle.
And who invited you?
Nobody invited me. It was my sister who was invited and who made me come along.
You're lying to me. No strangers allowed to get into the castle. Invitations don't exist. Tell me the real reason.
I was dragged here by my sister. What does it matter after all? We never made it there.
Continue obscuring the truth, and you'll end up dragged into Akhizat for
阿利扎
eternity.
多，
Nikolai is a liar. He's
尼古拉是个骗子，他注定没好下场。
You, I feel you're different. You're not like him. We know your sister was at the castle last night. She was seen by multiple witnesses. Tell me everything.
你妹妹昨晚在城堡里。城堡里，你确定城堡里的人是维多利亚？
Are you sure that was Victoria at the castle? How was that possible? You said strangers are not welcome. Has anyone seen me or Nikolai there?
我必须承认，我们过夜的房子里发生了一些怪事。
I have to confess that something happened in the house we spent the night in. I don't know what exactly, but it was Victoria. She did this to me.
认识的天秤座都是喉咙痛，吃着喉糖硬要说话。我想那应该是特例吧，并不是所有的天秤座都是这样。警官
Officer, can you hear me?
这周的免费周末 RNMV， 现在也只卖100多块钱而已啊。买下来做一个游戏梦吧，应该也不亏。
Officer?
我记得好像是100多块吧。
Officer?
然后呢，门呢？继续敲门吗
？Let me out.
RNMV 是 RPG Maker，RPG Maker MV。
Am I free to leave now?
You both have to come with me again.
主角是五五身。
Oh, where?
Beyond the wall of crosses.
十字架墙外。
At last, the grandiose Church of Mary. After so many centuries, still here, still holding up against...
What are we doing here?
I'm not at liberty to talk about anything.
现在走吧，
Now walk. The chief is expecting you.
长官在等你。
All entrapped within heavy iron cages.
坟墓。啊，我好想看这个侦探转过来哦，好想要确定他的头型到底长得怎么样。现在最新的是 MZ 吗？啊，不对 ，MZ 之后还有个 Unite， 是不是？整合 Unity 是 Unite 吗？好像是 Unite。
Ah, you made it past the wall of crosses. Through tall trees, unmarked paths, and unnatural, dreadful silence. Into the heart of darkness where you invited us to meet.
啊，这个就是城堡吗？进入你邀请我们见面的黑暗之心。进入你邀请我们见面的黑暗之心。我们邀請了你。
We invited you?
You have, with your deeds.
Unite，
I don't understand.
Unite 吗？如果是 Unite 的话，应该是念 Unite 吧？这是什么地方 ？Unity 的话才是 Unity。这是什么地方？我们为什么在这里
What is this place? Why are we here?
This church was built with one purpose only, to repel evil from the Carcassa forest. It failed miserably, and was absorbed
卡
in
卡
darkness
萨
instead.
森林。
Chief, we'd appreciate it if you could tell us what's going on.
Words are unnecessary. Light
言
always
语是多
reveals.
余的，光明总能显现。
Lights on, officer. Now, take a good look.
哎哦，上面血
God.
吊着吗？好像是吊着。
What? Tell us, why are we here?
Lights off! Ranko Merzel, the beloved mayor of Sveti Kotar, hanging up there all alone with a dreaded yellow
市
mask.
长，
Underneath the mask, he has
市
nothing
长
left.
戴着面具，
His face ripped off, his eyes gouged out and eaten. His skull cut open, and parts of his brain eaten.
头骨被切开，大脑的一部分被吃掉了。
Tortured cruelly by the moon ghouls, or those they want to become.
月食尸鬼，
In the very end, his chest and abdomen were torn and his heart ripped out, to be devoured.
他的尸体还在上面呢，你怎么可能知道这些呢？
His body is still up there. How could you possibly know all these things?
We don't have to pull him down to know what happened. We've seen this too many
已经
times
见
in
过
our
太多
lives.
次了。曾经发生过好几次月食尸鬼
Who are the moon ghouls?
（Moon Ghouls），
Saborans is their name. Servants of the moon demons.
月魔的仆从。
Some people believe they're not humans, but rather evil entities that take human form. We don't know who they are. They're hiding in the shadows, impossible to find.
这是一个可怕的犯罪现场，我们不应该在这里啊！
This is a horrific crime scene. We shouldn't be here.
Is this the way you welcome strangers in your town?
We know the mayor was murdered by Nermin, a man who decided to worship the moon deities. The past teaches us we are unable to see the true soul of other people, no matter how close they are to us.
So you interrogate strangers and tell them of the existence of malicious beings, and in the end you show them their prey?
Nermin didn't feast on the mayor's corpse alone. There was someone else who joined the
不
ritual.
止一个人。内明并不是独自吃市长的尸体，有其他人加入了仪式。我们没听说过内明这个名字。
The name Nermin doesn't mean anything to us.
We're here for the first time in our lives, Chief. What do you want from us?
Lies. All lies. Where's Victoria? Or should I call her Petra instead?
What do you mean?
We know she used the name Petra when introducing herself around town.
佩
Our
图拉，
mother's name.
母亲的名字。
We just don't know where she's hiding, and we need you to tell us.
我们不知道，当我们醒来的时候，她并不在房子里。
We don't know. When we woke, she wasn't in the house.
It was our plan to go looking for her, but then your men intercepted us. We don't know
对，
where
内
she
明是音
is.
译。对。你觉得她为什么要躲起来？
Why do you think she's hiding?
Do not try to make a fool of me. She was seen pushing a man from the castle roof last night, and when we found his severed head, he wore a yellow mask. We know she helped Nermin. Her scratch pad was found up in the belfry amongst pieces of human flesh. If you want us to search for her, fine. Once we find her, she'll face the same fate as Nermin. They'll beg us to end their lives.
所以警察怀疑，那个维多利亚跟那个食尸鬼一起犯案，有发现维多利亚的记事本留在案发现场吧？他为什么要帮助对他来说完全是陌生人的内明呢？
Why would she help Nermin, a complete stranger to her?
The Saborans cult needed a witch among them? Morbidity and the occult fascinate her? She's your sister. You should know that.
This is insane. My wife would never do harm to anyone, let alone join a cannibal cult.
据说被他从屋顶上推下来的那个人是谁？指的不是市长。
Who is the man she allegedly pushed from the roof?
We're still trying to fish his body parts from the chasm below the castle. Whoever he was, he's just one
只有
piece
找
of
到
the
头
puzzle.。
你怎么能确定他有罪？你有什么证据呢？
How can you be so sure of her guilt? What proof do you have?
We found her belongings in the belfry and her coat in the woods, not so far from here.
找到了他的东西，还有他的外套。
How do you know it's hers?
A coat, badly damaged, with blood stains. Her wallet and personal ID were inside, But we also found something
钱包跟身份证，
an eviscerated fetus.
一个被掏去内脏的胎儿。钱包跟身份证旁边发现了一个被掏去内脏的胎儿。我妹妹怀孕了，这个结论合理吗
Sister was pregnant?
She still is. Don't you understand what they're trying to do here?
Victoria sacrificed her unborn child to the moon demons.
未出生的孩子献给了月魔。
No.
好，石宇 ，Hello， 你好，石宇 ，Hello， 你
It's
好。
not possible. She would never.
We know she's hiding somewhere, and we know you're lying.
这是一个恐怖游戏，
She even tried to make us
悬疑
believe
恐怖
she
游戏
killed。herself after the murders.
跟邪教还有食人教有关。我们知道他躲在某个地方，我们知道你在撒谎，这会让你成为他跟内民的帮凶。一进那栋屋子我就睡着了。
An accomplice? I fell asleep the moment we entered that house. I am a man of God. How dare you put such sin on my soul?
I've seen many people say or think they're godly men. That means nothing. Faith is more than mere words.
你认为他为什么要伪装自己的死亡？
Why do you think she tried to fake her own death?
There was a suicide note in her coat.
外套里有一封遗书。
Own lives in this forest. She thought she could trick us with a message of repentance. Pathetic. You clearly don't have any intention to help us, but we might have means to change your mind.
Chief, do you really think we would be lying? Is my wife really capable of committing such atrocities?
Look around. Can you smell death? Can you sense wickedness? Of course I believe that. This is a cursed land. And I don't know who you are.
这是一片诅咒之地。
None of you. Take them away. Make them talk.
把他们带走，逼他们交代。
Gentlemen, you know how this works.
对啊，他的头真的缺一边呐、这个侦探的头真的少一边。
Why have we stopped, Detective?
Someone needs to help you out. I'm letting you go.
对啊，这个侦探的头的确就是这样设计的。莫斯托夫，好，要把我们放走。你突然之间想要帮我们了，为什么？
All of a sudden you want to help us? Why?
Your sister came here to join a madman? She chose this town to fulfill her occult desires? And you're helping her to hide?
看起来不像戴帽子。
That's insane. Maybe she got kidnapped by Nermin and... I don't know. You must find her as quickly as possible.
对啊，看起来不像戴帽子。不知道，一直没有那个近距离的摄影镜头照到这个侦探。诺伦局长会暴怒的。
Chief Norton will be furious with you.
I never lied to him. Or at least it's what he thinks. He won't question my decision to let you leave. But you have to give me your word you won't leave town. We have your passports, but one can always find a way out if he wants to.
We promise.
I wouldn't question a word from two priests.
I promise.
Start your search with the warden.
跟监狱长一起开始搜索。哈图尔博士
Dr. Hatur?
I was with him last night before the incident at the castle. He was already looking for Victoria.
Before the incident? Are you sure?
My head injury sometimes makes me
脑损伤
have
哦
memory lapses, but you don't have to question my intelligence.
有时候会让我记忆力下降。
I knew it. The moment I saw that man, I knew there was something creepy about him.
I don't know how, but he might be somehow connected with her disappearance.
昨晚在城堡事件发生前，我跟他在一起，他已经在寻找维多利亚了。 好，我能在精神病院找到他吗？
Could he be found at a mental hospital?
Oh no, you can't possibly get to the
喝
model
水。
asylum. It's off limits for non-staff or non-inmates. The doctor resides at the only lodge in this town,
外头开始
the
下雨了
Undine Lodge.
啊！上个礼拜就已经在说什么会有中秋节
Where's
会有
this
台风，
lodge located?
From here, go down towards
结果
the
今天还是
lodge.
热的要死。
Once you reach the shore, go left. You can't miss it.
为什么我们被审问的时候他留在家里？
Why did he stay at the house while we were being interrogated?
He wanted to make sure Victoria wasn't there, but to tell you the truth, I think he had other reasons. I'm not sure.
好，所以这个侦探在怀疑那个精神病学家，然后我们现在去找他。现在是
What
几
time
点
is it?
I don't know, but it's getting late and you should act immediately.
The train is about to leave soon.
能把我的东西还给我吗？
Could you give me my belongings back?
That I cannot do. I'm sorry.
哎，我们现在得走了
We。have to go now.
A few words of advice before we part ways. There is a reason why this town looks desolate, even in broad daylight. Don't get yourself fooled by the lights you see here.
这片土地被诅咒了，空气也被邪恶玷污了。
Air tainted with wickedness. I know you can sense it. It's the opposite of what you're used to.
侦探感觉不太想讲
Be
话。
wary while wandering around. Under no circumstances you should go into the forest or onto the mountain.
绝对不要进入森林或上山。
Forbidden.
其实每个都要选，嘿，
Stick to
对
the，town.
只是顺序不同而已。
The moon ghouls are impossible to find, except for when it's too late for oneself. God bless you all. I hope you find salvation in spite of the horror.
侦探可能是心累了吧？对，他对于现状可能是很绝望吧。
We have to split, Benedict. I'm going to the lodge. You should go back to the house, in case Victoria comes back.
我不认识我妹妹了。
I don't know my sister anymore. She became a person I've dreaded my whole life. She's a devil worshipper, a murderer, a person acting against God.
她是谁？她怎么会变化这么大呢？
Who is she? How could she change so much?
Since when do you trust other people? They are lying, Benedict. Victoria is innocent.
Did she drag me here to sacrifice me? Like she did with her unborn child?
是为了要献祭我吗？
Hey, she did not do that. Our child is not dead. The chief is lying. Before this journey, when was the last time you saw her?
最后一次见到她是几年前。
A couple of years ago, I guess.
I see and talk to her every waking hour since we married. People don't change that much. She's a good person.
They don't change. They just strip the facade and show their true self.
如果他们在撒谎，你如何解释在钟楼里找到她的便签簿呢？
If they are lying, how do you explain her scratch pad in the belfry?
I don't know.
还有她的外套，或者她用我母亲的名字来介绍自己。
And what about her coat? Or the fact that she used my mother's name to introduce herself?
We should ask if this is true. The only person she spoke to after arriving here is the lady from the souvenir shop over there.
别忘了，还有多名目击者看到他将一名男子从城堡的屋顶推下。这个戴眼镜的主角好像很讨厌自己的妹妹。
Don't forget, she was seen pushing a man from the
巴
castle
不得他是凶手。
by multiple witnesses.
Maybe she was assaulted. We don't know who that man is. And what really happened last night. If we don't succeed in finding her soon, going to the castle is something we should consider. And this is partly on us. If we weren't so weak, we wouldn't have been drowned into a nightmarish cycle of dreams. Just look around you. It's already night, for God's sake.
我注意到了，这意味着我们睡了半天多了。
I've noticed. It means we slept for more than half a day.
Even when dead tired, one can never sleep that much. It's unnatural. The house definitely did this.
绝对是因为这个房子。
Because we were weak.
这是我的错吗？让我来这里是他的主意，而且他选择了呢该死的房子。
It's my fault. It was her idea to make me come here, and she picked that damned house. How do you explain the balcony horror?
You're right. I'm sorry. I don't know how to explain many things. I'm just trying to find a meaning in all this madness. We should move, brother. She might already be back at the house. Or in danger at the hands of that warden.
No. I'm leaving.
You what?
我要走了，回布达佩斯。
I'm leaving. Going back to Budapest.
You won't make it past the border. You don't have your passport.
I'll be fine.
鉴于目前的情况，伊姆雷神父会理解我为什么要和圣科塔尔的牧师交谈。
I'm leaving. Going back to Budapest.
You won't make
选错了是不是？第二个。
Given the circumstances, Father Imre will understand why I didn't talk to the priest of Sveti Kotar.
But he will judge you if you leave your sister here.
我不在乎维多利亚跟她的遭遇。
I don't care about Victoria and what she got into. God will be her judge.
God will condemn you for leaving your sister to die here. Open your eyes! She's the only real family you have.
My family died the day my father left us.
If you leave, you will pursue your own selfish desires, not his will and words. She was accused wrongly. You need to stay here and help me find her in the name of faith.
他已经死了，你认为他会回到房子里吗？哎呦，这里该不会是直接进入结局分歧吧？然后我又没有办法存档，也不知道什么时候存档哦。刚刚有自动存档过吗？小镇的地图我暂时还没有。他已经死了。
She's already dead.
走掉了。
Benedict? Don't you dare turn your back on your sister!
I left and never looked back. Never saw my sister
我独自
again.
一个人过着幸福而充实的生活。
Fulfilled life, as I was alone. Alone.
与神独处。结束了吗？希望不要整个重来。然后呢？真的结局了哈！按掉。等一下哦，继续游戏。
Why have we stopped, Detective?
哦，从这边开始还好。
Someone need all of you, all of yours, Chief. Doctor, my.
也没结婚，因为他是神父。
He wanted.
Could you give what we have?
那我呢？Fate 在实况有吗？有哦。
I'm going to the lodge. You should go back to the house in case Victoria comes back.
我不认识我妹妹了。她是谁？她变化怎么会这么大？啊，王仁豪，你好。外套，还有他把人推下来。我们睡了半天多，是他选择那个房子。我要走了。神父会理解我的，我不在乎维多利亚跟他的遭遇。你认为他会回到房子里吗
You think she might be back at the house?
Could be. It's the only place where she knows we might be. Are you going to help me?
哦，还是可以，还是可以在这边选择离开。我去看看房子，如果他在那里，我会立刻离开。
I'm going to the house, and if she's there, I'm leaving at once.
You both wait on me, but stay out of the house and hide somewhere outside. The warden or the police might come back. I'm going to the lodge. Be careful.
啊，所以尼古拉去找那个精神病学家，他认为搞不好他跟维多利亚的失踪有关系。然后我们要回去那个房子，哪个房子啊？这是什么标志？喝水，好喝水。
It's barely readable. That must read Sveti Kotar, and that should be the coat of arms of Croatia, the chessboard.
克罗地亚的国徽棋盘。所以我要哇，这么多东西，雕像。
Ivan Kotar.
Ivan Kotar 守护神。雕像遗迹。
Only dust remains of the thing that was set on fire last
昨晚
night.
着火的东西只剩下灰烬哦。昨晚这边有举办一个邪教祭典，公告栏。哦，怎么了？等一下，先跳出去一下。应该有一句话漏掉了。
For some people, this stone is the only hope they have left.
石头上面的唯一希望哦，失踪者吗？
Young Kadia, missing his love since June.
6月失踪。
Haven, last seen on the last day of February 1993.
1993年2月失踪。嘿，Wilson 哎，Wilson，Hello， 你好。
Beloved wife and mother, Melita Lavnyak, missing since October 1991 at the entrance of Carcassa.
Carcassa， 1991年10月。这款也是临时决定的啦，对，因为那个《绝命异次元》已经破关了。
Anyone found my legs yet? Anyone found my legs yet?
那间房子在哪里啊？其实也不知道那间房子在哪边。这边是可以进去的，这个呢，这也是可以进去的。好，从近的开始吧。目前觉得怎么样？哎，跟我想的不太一样，其实有点闷，感觉得出来剧情上是有趣的啦，剧情是有趣的，但是他的演出还有对话的方式有点闷。
Asom Tavruli at the top, and the other two are Maleos Maleficarum by Heinrich Kramer, and an unnamed manuscript by Herodotus. What a strange taste for books.
就不是那种很紧张、很刺激的啦，就是靠着点击还有对话慢慢推进剧情的。诶，这边这是什么啊？这是0。
Who is it?
I'd like to ask you some questions.
哦，是礼品店吗？
Different things. Maybe you could help me.
A stranger.
啊，外乡
Would you
人。
come out of the room?
No, and I don't want to talk to you. Take a look at my inventory. Read some books. Do whatever you want. I don't care about those knockoffs. And take a sample of the town's map from the desk.
地图样本 ，OK。
That way you can't say I didn't help you.
But I...
Stop talking. I want silence.
好，地图。这样子的话，我应该就有地图了。好吧，好像没什么帮助。OK， 好，这个我们所在地是这边。怎么这个地图不顺便中文化一下？0地图书，然后是这边棋盘。
White and red squares, a Croatian version of the chessboard.
白色跟红色方块。地球仪。
I'm no expert, but I'm pretty confident this is a 15th century map of Europe. Everything in this town revolves around that troubling period of human history.
15世纪。这样我们就可以离开了吗？昨天有玩吗？没有。昨天玩什么？昨天玩被虐的诺艾尔。 所以这边是礼品店，然后这个是不能进去的，然后这边可以进去。推理解谜类型目前还没有需要解谜的部分，目前就只是到处东按西按一下。是人呢。
Suvenirnica Lavenjak. Ah, the drawing makes perfect sense. Lav in Croatian should mean lion.
Love. 货架。
Tiny chairs of torture and bells. I must say they are faithfully recreated.
微型的酷刑椅和铃铛。
It evokes a repulsive feeling.
长
I guess
袍。
that is its purpose, but I'm not sure it's something God would approve of, no matter the cause.
货架。
Statues and death masks of Ivan Kotar, and some small-sized replicas of the torture wheel.
酷刑轮小复制品。
They look so awkward and unnatural, as if made by someone who never saw them living.
制作者好像没有看过活着的鸟吗？这应该是鸟。面具。
Weird executioner masks.
刽子手面具看起来很古老。这样就都点过了。小树。
A strange, tiny-sized tree with red leaves. Growing out of a head vase makes it even stranger.
从脑袋花瓶中长出来的东西。然后再来跟老板讲话吗
Do I look like a madam to you?
Well...
You're going to make me blush, sir. Welcome to my little hut. My name's Ida. Ida Lavnjak.
我已经知道你的名字了。
I already know your name.
How? Do I know you?
Not really, but you know my sister. I was with her last night.
Oh, yes, I remember now. The shy and anxious older brother, Benedict. Or should I say, monk Benedict.
僧人贝内德克。
She said that?
No, sir. It's just the way you looked. Why didn't you come closer when we called you?
Her eyes focused somewhere behind me, with a weary and terrified gaze.
It's all right. You don't have to answer. Where's Victoria?
目前故事主角没有，
Oh no, not
先等一下，
her,
先等他把
not
话
again.
讲
I
完
hope。she's not another victim of the moon.
另一个月亮的受害者，主角跟他的妹妹跟他的妹妹的丈夫一起来这个小镇，然后是他妹妹主张要来的，他妹妹把他的哥哥还有他的老公一起带来这边，然后来到这边之后，两个男生就遭遇了一些奇怪的幻觉，然后从幻觉中醒来之后，他妹妹就失踪了，然后警察就来找他们，他们怀疑他的妹妹犯下了杀人案。这样子，然后跟一个邪教仪式有关。对，就是这个小镇上面已经发生了好几次的连续杀人案，然后都跟那个会食人教派，就是他们会把被害者的尸体给吃掉。对，有发生过连续杀人案，然后在这次的案件里面有目击到他妹妹共同犯案这样子。你今天见到他了吗？对，然后现在他们刚刚被警察审问过后。警察把他们放了出来，然后他们现在要去找他的妹妹，这样。
Have you seen her today?
No.
然后哥哥只想关妹妹。今天见到他没有？昨晚我们离开广场之后，他有再回来吗
Last night, did she come back after we left the square?
There were a lot of people here long after that, and I was preparing to close, so I really couldn't say. What's going on?
She was seen pushing a man from the castle's roof last night.
I heard about that accident this morning. She did that. She really pushed that man.
Eyewitnesses saw her.
Liars. Who are these people?
Does it really matter?
I don't know what to say except that Victoria is a good person. She looks so gentle and vulnerable. Like a butterfly. How can I help?
I don't know. Maybe you can't. Maybe only God can do something. Not even God. She's lost
上帝
forever.
也不在乎，他永远迷失了。 哇塞，好多！你听说过市长吗？然后市长就是这一次案件的被害者。
You've heard about the mayor.
Heard what?
They found his body in the forest.
What? Who told you that?
The police forced me to see it. The body was hanged from the belfry of the Church of Mary. Mutilated, disemboweled, and half-eaten by the crows.
Those animals. I'm sorry you had to see that. Poor mayor. I light up a candle for him today.
能跟我说说内名吗？
What can you tell me about Nedman?
Never seen him, but have heard
内名就是连续杀人犯。
What do you want to know?
It's a small town. How come you've never seen him?
Because he's one of those who lives under the moonlight, while the rest of us do our best to keep away from it.
A moon ghoul?
The worst of them all.
月食尸鬼，确定连续杀人犯。嘿，对，就是，但是抓不到他就是了。对，有这个叫内名的是确定他是个连续杀人犯，然后这一次的犯案就有人目击到主角的妹妹有跟那个内名共同犯案这样子。我应该去哪里找维多利亚？她不会公开露面，太冒险了。
Where should I look for Victoria? She won't come out in the open. It would be too risky.
Well, if I were you, I'd start my search in the forest.
In Carcassa?
森林。
Udav Mountain could be a good place to start too, but I've never been there, so I can't give guidance.
Carcassa and Udav are forbidden places, aren't they?
I don't believe what they say about them. The forest is a beautiful place. The tall trees, Pepel, the river spring, and the silence. Listen. Search the forest. Make sure not to get caught while entering, and keep your eyes open once inside. You'll be fine.
这个家伙鼓吹我们去森林找妹妹。谁决定禁止这些地方的？
Who decided to forbid these places?
Ironically, the same man that was found dead in the heart of the forest.
市长。
Mayor Rancomerzo.
You think his death had something to do with the decision?
No, I don't know. The proof of fate is a decree that he put in place soon after taking control of the town. It's a decree that compels people to stay away from the places on the list and to report suspicious activities and misbehavior.
Such as?
Blasphemous and heretical talk, to name a few. But the decree's main objective is to find and execute those against or unfaithful to God.
She sounds like she doesn't approve of this.
I guess it's a good thing. I don't know.
所以这边这个城镇上有在实行信仰审查，你不遵守法律哦。
You don't adhere to the law.
Not in this case, at least not entirely. You know.
猎物类似吧。
And please don't say this to anyone, or you'll have me tortured and killed. All right?
Go on. I promise.
Carcassa has been like my second home in the last few years.
所以这个人常常到森林里面去。
I know what you are going to say. It's dangerous, dark, and forbidden. But listen to me. Sometimes it gets dangerous, true. And the mayor's death proves it. But isn't that normal? It's life.
这就是生活。
It's life. Everything here feels rotten and reeks of death.
Don't say that. And don't talk to others this way. If we stop dreaming and lose hope, what do we have left? Look, I don't know if you should go into the forest. I don't want to get you in trouble or killed. I have no idea where you should look, really. I'm sorry. Oh, wait, I have something here. It might not tell you where to go, but at least give you some orientation. A map of the town and its surroundings. How does that sound?
Thank you, but I already have one.
Oh, good. Just be careful.
所以可以选择到不同的地方来拿地图就是了。你昨晚怎么没打扮成牧师？昨晚这个地方有一个庆典，好像是跟邪教有关。
How come you weren't dressed as a priest last night?
That question.
Excuse me?
Oh, sorry, nothing against you. But it's the same annoying question that keeps coming back at me, like a bat flapping in circles year after year.
因为这是店家嘛，总会有那个，
October 28th on the calendar,
总会有观光客。
I know what's coming to bite me.
那是为什么呢？10月28号就是庆典的日子。
So what's the reason?
I tell everyone I can't wear it because I have to work. But the truth is, I don't believe it will make a difference if I did. In general, the ritual doesn't make a
仪
difference.
式毫无用处。为什么别人都穿着它呢？
Why does everyone else wear it?
Because the inhabitants believe we are all disciples of Ivan Kotar, and so we have to dress like them on the day. Not just in the evening when the effigy is set on fire, but all the time, from dawn to dusk.
But what is the reasoning behind it? The dress is just a terrifying shadow of what a priest's robe should look like.
There's a belief that wearing it scares off demons, witches, and other
吓
evil
跑恶
spirits.
魔、女巫跟
I
其
guess
他
the
邪恶的
darker
灵
it
魂，
looks, the scarier it is.
越黑就越
I
有
don't
效。
know.
雕像昨晚变成了灰烬，它象征了什么？
The effigy turned into ash last night. What does it represent?
A demon slave of the moon god.
月神的魔奴。
The effigy ritual marks the end of the day of Ivan Kotar. People gather on the square, they pray and chant as one voice. Which sounds beautiful. It's the best part. No, it's the only part of the day I love.
I thought the exact opposite. It was a disturbing scene, and I felt true, primal fear.
Then the mayor comes out and everyone stops, and when the last words leave his mouth, the effigy is finally set on fire.
Has anyone been hurt over the years? The fire spreads very quickly, a wide and massive whirl as if ignited from the darkest of places.
No, not that I recall of. Why? Oh, you mean because they stand so close to the figure?
Yes, and because it could come down at any moment. It's so tall, the nearby buildings could be hit.
Nothing to worry about. God is protecting them.
上帝会
Or
保
at
护
least
他们。
it's what they believe. Oh, and those who are tasked with creating the
制
effigy
作雕
are
像的
given
人
a
获
free
得进入
pass
森
into
林
the
的通行
forest.
证。
Can you guess why?
No.
You haven't even tried to guess. Because it's made of black wood, plant roots, and undergrowth from Carcassa. Slaves of the moon god supposedly live or dwell as
月神的奴隶
spirits
生
if
活
they
在
are
森
dead
林中，
inside the forest, and so
所以他们去森林里面砍树，再把它烧掉。
some of the townsfolk even swear to hear the wailing of demons the whole night after the fire. I don't know.
你在看哪本书？
What book are you reading?
The Divine Comedy. I needed
然后
something
玉
to
，Hello， 你好，
cheer
玉
me
，Hello， 你
up.
好，中秋节快乐，Hello，Hello。
So where's Dante now?
Who?
Dante, the hero of the book? In what part of the book are you now?
Oh yes, how silly of me. He's in a dark forest and there are beasts he cannot evade.
有在烤肉
I
吗？
think
没
they
有。
symbolize something else.
Sins. The beasts represent the self-indulgent, the violent, and the malicious.
Oh, that's interesting. You know, the book intrigued me because the descriptions of where he is in the beginning reminded me of this valley. Does that make sense to you? I told this to my father and he scolded me right away.
You are quite right, madam.
Now all we need is our Virgil to rescue us.
你姓拉夫尼亚克对吧？
Your last name is Lovniak, right?
Not a hard guess. It's on the sign.
Melita is your mother?
She is... was... Why?
What happened to her?
We don't know. She just disappeared. Exactly 5 years ago yesterday.
Did she die or just go missing?
I remember it as if it were yesterday. We went to the church, prayed, wore the disciple dresses, scared some kids. So much fun and joy. A long time ago she came up with this crazy thought. When I grow up, we will have a day only for us. Just the two of us, without father. And so, over the years, it became a tradition.
还好不是
Father was
Lovecraft，
so jealous,
不一
but
定
happy. We were all happy.
都有月神了。
Anyway, tired and feeling sick, I chose to go home that day, right before the effigy ritual.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked.
It's all right. On my way out of here, I turned around and she looked at me with those beautiful green eyes, and I remember seeing them change color. Her neck bent awkwardly, both eyeballs instantly became blood red, and I heard her screaming even if her mouth didn't open. We don't know what exactly happened to her, but since it was a full moon night, we just...
妈妈变成了怪物，是不是？
Forgive me, but
你有没有问问是否有人看到了什么
you
了吗？
didn't ask around if anyone saw something?
Father did, and the only information he managed to get after all these years is that she was last seen entering the Carcassa forest, alone.
So she wasn't actually taken away?
Of course she was. I don't believe what the police said. Why would she go into the forest on her own? She was terrified of it. It just doesn't make any sense. Nothing makes sense anymore.
Something is off here.
你确定她的眼睛变色了吗？
Are you sure her eyes changed color?
Absolutely. Why?
You said they were blood red, right?
Correct.
血红色。
The same color as the leaves on this tiny tree you have.
So?
Maybe in the moment you saw the blood red color of the leaves,
手
your
机版第二
mind
我不知
just
道
thought it
我不
was
知
her
道。
eyes.
No, Benedict. Her neck bent and her eyes turned
脖子扭
blood
曲，
red,
眼睛
and I
变成了
heard
血
her
红色
scream.，
听到了尖叫声。
Memories can be deceitful.
I planted this tree after she went missing, because the color of its leaves reminded me of that day. It reminds me of her and my guilt. Notice the vase. That's her. That's
花
my
瓶是她的
mother's
脸。
face.
好，
I recreated her entire head.
Surely a morbid way to remember a loved one.
打扰了，离开。
Excuse me.
Sure.
哦，走这边。然后是这边，这边可以直接进去。这边是酒吧、餐厅。啊哈，一组肖像。
Lots of fog in these portraits. Not quite sure if it's a stylistic choice. The emerging faces are pretty ugly and creepy.
也是肖像。
An old woman with white hair, white dress, and big
大
black
白
teeth.
牙、白裙子、
She's doing her best
白
to
发
look
老妇
happy.
人。好吧，其实翻译有点翻的不是很好。猪头。
It's missing an eye. The man who did this and put it on display here is a brainless, primitive psychopath.
树
It's just a mock-up of a strange tree with small red leaves and branches
小小的
pointing
红叶。
skyward.
哎，我可以拿起来。
I'm not a thief.
砖砌的窗户。
Slips of paper have been squeezed in the fissures between the bricks. I'm curious.
牵着一些纸条。
Voices now carry, shadows take form. Oh God, have mercy on me, for I fear the thing that possesses me. A wall of laments?
哀
Inside
叹
a
之墙
tavern?，
酒馆里面。啊，所以这是类似留言板，写一些留言，然后把它塞进缝隙里面了。哎呦，好多。阅读纸条。
Take my son and husband.
请带走我的儿子跟丈夫，让我的痛苦消失。
I'm here at your feet, with you in my heart. From the day I arrived, life has been a blessing and this town a dream. I thank you for that. We are all captives of this place, imprisoned souls
被囚禁的灵魂在等待着我们的救世主。
Descend upon the valley, save us, give us the light. Darkness, shrieking, trembling, you left me in the mine, and now I have no God. My vengeance nears. My days and nights are nearly over, so let me thank you for everything you've done. I choose to live in darkness. I choose to be safe.
6。
Yesterday, I followed a swarthy old woman into the forest.
跟一名老妇人进了森林，我不知道这是不是幻象，我不知道我这样做的原因。
All blackness and silence. My heart is dark now. My soul is cursed.
我的灵魂被诅咒了，我能感觉到。
For I had such a weakness of faith.
7。
The dead are disappearing and the believers are
死者正
dying.
在消失，信徒正在死去。
Do something, Almighty.
做点什么吧，上帝。8。
He who confesses obtains mercy. I was lost until I gave myself to the Lord, but now I'm redeemed by the perfect blood of my child.
我被我孩子完美的血所救赎。9。
I had a vision of Ivan Kotar. He led me into the kingdom of Ahrisat. What does it mean? My God, am I doomed?
10。
Bind their power, prevent their progress, banish them. My shepherd, free us all. That's it. I've read them all. This wall is just more proof
你不是还有11吗？
and horrible a place Sveti Kotar
圣
is.
科塔尔是个多么落后跟可怕的地方。阅读所有纸条，不对啊，还有11啊。11是什么？
Voices now carry
哦，这是之前看过的。然后斧头，好，对话，答握。
Excuse me.
What do you want?
看完有成就，嘿，对啊，记得我吗？
Remember me?
Should I?
From last night? My sister and brother-in-law were with me.
I'm not a visual man. I don't remember faces. They dissolve into fog pretty fast.
所以你不记得我妹妹维多利亚了吗？昨晚你们两个有聊了一下。
So you don't remember my sister Victoria? The two of you talked last night.
Victoria, you say? I remember her glasses and name.
Did you see her today?
No. You've lost her?
She lost herself, and we cannot find her.
Keep looking and seek help from God. Or ask someone who thinks to be
问问自认是上帝的人。
And who would be that fool?
Fool. Funny you say that, because that's how I call him too.
表
My
格诺
cousin Norin.
表格诺伦。
The chief of police is your cousin?
Dominic Norin, the feared and respected law of the valley of Sveti Kotar.
对啊，应该不是主线了。多米尼克·诺伦，警长，我已经跟他谈过了，他似乎不知道维多利亚在哪里。
I've had a chance to talk with him already. He doesn't seem to know where Victoria is.
That means nothing. He's either lying or you're a fool as much as he is. Was there anyone else when he talked to you?
Yes.
He likes that. He likes to be on the stage, in front of a crowd.
如果我决定跟他谈谈，我该去哪里
If
呢？
I decide to talk to him, where should I go?
You'll find him in his office at the police station.
警
That's
察
where
局
he
办公
eats,
室。
sleeps, and fulfills his needs. Talk to him alone. He's more
要单独跟他
vulnerable
谈谈。
without a crowd. Walk into the police station. His office is the door on the left. Just knock and tell him Davor Gorsky has sent you.
All right.
He won't care, so you'll have to give him a good reason to let you in. Luckily, that reason is in front of your eyes.
You? I don't understand.
A gift. The cleaver. Right in front of you.
A cleaver will make him change his
现在
mind.
是傍晚，现在是傍晚。
No joke. It'll wait for you here for whenever, if ever, you decide to talk to the fool.
所以要我们拿着刀子去跟那个警长谈话。圣科塔尔是一座小镇，外乡人来访时会去哪里？有我应该知道的地方吗？
Kotar is a small town. Where do strangers go when they visit? Any particular place I should know of?
Ah, glad you're asking. I got many recommendations. You should definitely venture into the Carcassa
应该去一下
forest.
森林。
Its trees are magical this time of year. Then don't miss out on the greatest view of the valley.
森
Climb
林
to
还有
the
山
top of the
山。
Udaf Mountain and enjoy the breathtaking sight. Lastly, take a diving course at the Lake Hali. I mean, forget about people. Don't ask anyone. Just dive. Just do it yourself and enjoy the rich underwater life. Your
雨
soul
店长说森林很危险，对啊，就是这里的法律是禁止人们到山上跟森林里面去的，
goes into the spring of the
法律有禁止，不准去。
I feel like you're mocking me.
I am.
昨晚那个着火的庞然大物是什么？
What was that huge, horrible thing that was set on fire last night?
Tradition. This town has a history of blaming everyone except God.
God is never to be blamed. He has his own ways of...
Blah, blah, blah. I heard it 1,000 times before. People around here blame strangers, good spirits, demons, witches, and even the Vatican. Everyone else except the one they idolize.
The Vatican?
Crazy thing for a Catholic town, isn't it?
But why? And why do you say they should blame God?
Look around you. Talk to people. Stay long enough and you'll understand.
跟我说说月食尸鬼。
Tell me about the moon ghouls.
They will eat your soul and feast over your flesh.
You know who they are?
A cannibal tribe that
追
follow
随
the
月魔的食人族。
moons. The moon is the key.
In what way?
I already said too much. Seek more knowledge elsewhere.
你是标本剥制师吗？
Are you a taxidermist?
A what?
Do you prepare dead animals for fun?
I enjoy slaughtering them. I love my job.
So you are a butcher?
I prefer Slaughterman. Why? What's this all about?
I was asking myself about that poor pig and its head displayed like a trophy.
You have a problem with that?
It's missing an eye, and
And?
I believe it's a mortal sin to torture defenseless animals.
You know why? Because you are one of them. Like a sheep who follows words and moral codes, you feel endangered, vulnerable, and mortal.
It's actually the other way. I feel...
You don't feel bad or sorry or sad for that pig. You're terrified because you see your own head on that wall.
It's pointless to argue with this man.
这是在讽刺主角的信仰吧？
Say.
主角是个虔诚的神父，这样。你这里用砖砌起来的窗户有什么故事呢？
What's the story of the bricked up window you have here?
Human rats kept breaking in and stealing from me. The alley's pretty dark at night, so it was perfect for them. I couldn't find out who they were, so I decided to poison the food. It worked. It was all right for a while.
食物下毒。
Then the break-ins started again, and I said no more. Walls always work. They divide the sane from the mentally ill, and the rich from the poor.
主角是不是站不直？嘿，是他一直都这样。
Thank you for the background story, sir, but I meant what's the story behind the slips of paper in the wall?
Of course you meant that. What else would you be interested in after all? I keep them because they amuse me.
How so?
I laugh at how weak and pathetic my fellow townsfolk are. They bring me lots of joy, especially the ones talking to God.
You have a problem with faith?
Do I look like a sheep to you?
我在嘲笑信仰。
No, you do not.
Right answer, priest. Right answer.
I'm not a priest.
I'm not a fool.
打扰了。
Excuse me.
然后呢？所以我们终究还是要去森林吗？这边是什么？没有白天小镇吗？那就看那个。我们第一次看到这个小镇已经是傍晚了啦。 对，目前还没有办法看到说白天的情境这样。我们可以切换角色了，先去找警长，因为不知道他们在哪里，就只能到处乱走。然后我们现在可以切换角色，有人吗
Hello? Graveyard silence.
啊，所以这边就没办法来。桌上的砍刀没拿了，有道理齁，的确应该去拿一下。好，这边也可以调查。堕落的天使。
The Catechism says, after an angel decides to sin, he falls from heaven and becomes a demon.
好，窗户也可以看。
In the back room, I can see some sheet-covered furniture and a big candle on the floor.
铺着床单的家具。再来是树。
Who keeps a dead tree?
死去的树。
Who keeps?
这个呢，雕刻。
4 letters divided by a cross: V, K, J, and P.
V K J P。 好，我们再回去刚刚那个地方看看刀子。刚刚就直接离开了。
I should wait here for now.
哈，好吧，那所以再来是进这间房子啊。这间房子就是我们刚刚一开始待的房子嘛。我们就在这个房子外面被逮捕了。有声音。
I wasn't sure I heard a voice, but I did. Victoria is here.
先到旁边看看。
It's locked.
好，走正门。VKJP 啊，窗户我忘记了。
It's dark, and my eyes could be deceiving me, but that doesn't seem to be.
Who goes there? I'm Lucia, the owner of this house.
露西亚，抱歉，小姐，我是贝内德克。维多利亚是我妹妹。
I apologize, miss. I'm Benedict. Victoria is my sister.
Who's Victoria?
我度过了糟糕的一天，抱歉，我是说佩特拉。佩特拉是我妹妹。
Rough day. Sorry. I meant Petra. Petra is my sister.
I didn't know she had a brother, and that he was coming with her to Sveti Kotar.
Nobody knew. It was a last-minute decision.
So where is she now?
We're trying to find her.
We? Who is we? And are there more people I don't know about?
Her husband, Nikolai, came as well.
I was told she was to come alone on Friday, October 28th. Rented the house for 3 nights. Said she wants to give herself a gift for the soul. A strange woman, I tell you that. Something happened?
Nothing in particular. We woke up and she was gone.
She's probably sightseeing. One can easily get
跪着
lost in the beauty of the place.
像客人应该是在擦地板吧？可能是在擦地板。这里发生了什么事？
What happened here?
I didn't want to yell at you, but since you're asking, you tell me. I almost fainted out of sorrow after opening the door. Look at my bust, reduced to pieces.
半身像，本身碎骨了。
animals.
You'll have to ask the warden to pay for that. We left the house untouched.
The warden? What warden? Dr. Hatur?
Yes, Dr. Hatur.
But I did nothing wrong. Why would he come to my house? Was he looking for me?
I don't know. He didn't tell us the reason, and we couldn't.
有弄坏警察弄坏的吧？
Maybe.
可能是警察弄坏的，
They saw my art as blasphemous and
因为
heretical.
警察有来搜查这间
Maybe
房子
they'll
嘛。
take me into the asylum. That's why he destroyed the bust in the stoop. He was sending a message. I'm doomed.
他不会采取进一步行动的。
He won't take further action.
What do you mean? He was here for me.
Why would he cause this damage without taking you in? It doesn't make sense.
You think?
This looks like he was just giving a warning. Maybe because of something else you did.
I don't know what I did, but I can live with a warning. I'll try to be more careful from now on. Thank you, my friend.
你昨晚不应该在这里迎接我们吗？
Weren't you supposed to welcome us last night?
I told your sister I'll leave the key at the neighbors, and that I'll pass by later, after the castle.
你当时在城堡里。
You were at the castle?
Sure.
Did you see me there?
I was there only for a brief time. Couldn't stand all those people. But how could I see you when everyone has to wear... Wait a minute. Did you go inside without a mask?
No, of course not.
你过来时他在这里吗？
Was she here after you came by?
I didn't make it. This right here is me visiting after the castle. You are a strange person. No wonder you two are relatives. Why are you asking all these questions?
And when I came back, I couldn't find her. I don't know her whereabouts since last night.
找不到她，不知道她的下落。
If you don't trust her, you should just talk to her. But if you already did, then my only advice is to talk to Madame Vera, my neighbor. She may be old, but she never misses a thing. Always lurking from that window of hers.
然后要我们去找邻居，不过邻居我们已经去看过了，找不到人。
But she either wasn't in the house or just ignored me.
Because she doesn't like strangers. What would you do? You must introduce yourself to her. Say exactly who you are and why you are looking to talk to her. Tell the truth. I heard that she had some sort of visions of the life of Ivan Kotar, the patron saint of the town. It's what allowed her to sneak into other people's houses as a babysitter.
I'll try to talk to her.
And do not go knocking on the door. She hates that.
你在这所房子里有没有做过什么奇怪的梦？
Have you had any strange dreams in this house?
Whenever I don't have guests, I sleep here. And guests are as rare as the sun in this town. My dreams are always great. Why?
It's just that both Nikolai and I had a rough night's sleep with harrowing dreams.
That must have been the demon of tiredness, not the house. You had a long drive yesterday.
我们打开阳台门，发现了一团奇怪的东西。
We opened the balcony door and found a strange mass.
So it was you who broke the glass on the door?
No, I just opened it. I promise.
Maybe those bloody crows did it. Wouldn't be the first time. It started recently. They come to the balcony raking in mud, small twigs, and other crow filth. I tried to scare them off, but nothing is working. And they are very aggressive. I can't light a candle anymore. Whenever I do, they swarm outside and start scratching at the windows and door. The balcony is where they gather and ultimately die. It's like their graveyard.
会死在一大堆乌鸦死在阳台上。
I can't explain it. If they don't back off soon, I'll have to start taking action. I don't want my guests to feel threatened.
建议我四处看看这栋房子吗？
Do you mind if I look around the house a bit?
Not at all. You're allowed to stay here for 2 more nights. Unless you want to pay to stay longer, of course.
That is something you should discuss with my sister.
好，所以这边就是 Airbnb 嘛，是这个意思吧？算了。
Never mind.
好，我们看看尼古拉在干嘛？哎，不对，我们先去看看那个邻居好了。心理碎片怎么不点灯？这个城镇人其实都已经习惯黑暗了吧？看起来就是持续的都生活在这种很阴郁、阴暗的空间。 维拉夫人。
Madam Vera? My name is Benedek. I spent the night at your neighbor's. Could I ask you some questions?
跟我一起来那个女人是我妹妹，今天我们找不到她了。
The woman that came with me is my sister. We can't find her today.
我们在昨晚到达之后，你有没有看到她离开房子呢？
Did you see if she left the house sometime after we arrived last night?
也许你今天有见到过她。
Have you seen her today, perhaps? Who are you? I must confess that I have a hard time reading your chalkboard.
生气了。
All right, no need to get upset, Madam Vera. I'll do my best to read from it. My name is Benedek, and... Vera is old, not deaf. Who are you? Benedek, I'm a monk from Budapest. What do you want from me, monk?
我正在寻找我的妹妹，你有看见她吗？
I'm trying to find my sister. Have you seen her? No, but I heard last night. After we arrived? Much later, in the night, with a man. What man? Nikolai? No, the one who came here earlier today stayed in the house. The warden? Dr. Hator? Him, the man with the demonic voice.
所以有看到那个哈图尔典狱长跟他的妹妹在一起。哈图尔跟我妹妹做了什么？
What did Hator and my sister do? Went into the forest together, talked there for a while, then
进了
silence.
森林。
Where in the forest? At the crossroad, go straight into the forest. It's where the path leading from the town ends? Just go inside there. Once you find it, you will know. Did you hear what they talked about? No, sounded like whispering, praying, chanting.
俄语祈祷吟唱。你能描述一下哈图尔吗？
Can you describe Hator? What is it? My eyes were taken from me.
我的眼睛被夺走了。
God has his ways. I'm sorry. God has nothing on this. I deserved punishment. I deserve solitude. You still questioning my words. I am sure I didn't see him, but it is the same man that stayed in the house. The demonic voice.
他没有亲眼看到，但是他听得出来那是哈图尔的声音。我只是好奇，所以请不要生气。为什么要用黑板来交流呢？所以眼睛瞎了，眼睛瞎了，嘴巴也不能讲话了吗
I'm just curious, and please don't get upset. Why are you using a chalkboard to communicate? Piece of chalkboard, school-damaged object, a present from someone special to me. I understand, but why don't you talk to me? Wouldn't that be easier and less painful for you? Tongue was torn out.
舌头被扯掉了，我又瞎又哑。
Terrible fate. I can't imagine the pain.
这是因为异端审问的关系
Please
吗
forgive my ignorance.
是被抓去审问的关系吗？谁将你变得又瞎又哑的？
Who made you blind and mute? No need to tell me. I just... The body of my sister. Your sister did this to you? A corpse now. She had to do it. It is my fault. Your sister, family. What could you have done to deserve such a cruel punishment?
他的家人对他做这些事
I
情的，
provoked. I need to suffer for my faith.
挑
It
衅
is
了
all
上
I
帝，
have
理应
left.
受苦
Don't。ask again.
我听说了你的梦想，
I heard about your visions. I still have them. Visions of Ivan Kotar? His birth, life, the horrors of Udav, death in church. Can you tell me a bit more? Visions our mind don't want to talk about.
哦，打扰了。
Excuse me.
主角要一人分饰两角。
You are damaged. Missing soul you have. Excuse me? Cursed, like me, but a good man. Help me find the love of my life. He disappeared.
巫人，我没办法，我一找到妹妹我就会走了，再也不回来了。再看一次说呢，我们看不到画面，我们应该是没办法看到画面的，他只能看主角的形容而已。
Madam, I can't. As soon as I find my sister, I'm leaving and not coming back. Search for her at the same time. Look for him.
寻找他，同时寻找他。我不熟悉这个地方，我不认识这里的任何人。
I don't know this place. I don't know anyone here. Everyone knew my love. On a full moon night, he disappeared. You have to understand, it will take a miracle for me to find anyone in this valley. But tell me, what is his name? Yakov Prenger, town's former... A priest was your lover?
前任牧
He was
师
to renounce his service, not faith. Dear God, I'll see what I can do. I have to go now.
然后他的情人是个牧师，然后在一个满月的夜里消失了。要看雕刻是不是？我记得好像没有近距离的拍给我们看了。
4 letters divided by a cross. V, K, J, and P.
十
If
字
I'm
分
right,
割。哦
V，should stand for Vera, J for Yakov, and P for Prenger. That is not love. It's a sin. Four letters divided by a cross. V, K, J, and P. If I'm right, V should stand for Vera, J for Yakov, and P for Prenger. That is not love. It's a sin.
什么意思？普雷格是谁啊？名字也记不住。OK。要去看一下刀子吗？
I should wait here for now.
哦，好，离不开这张地图。这边现在是锁起来的，好，我们切换到
It's locked.
对 K 没有讲。
I couldn't have missed the tallest building out here.
哦，
This
这边
must
是
be the lodge
旅
where
馆
our。tour resides.
不对，这边是离开，这边也是切换场景。这边呢？那这边也是离开，好。标志。
Goldine.
狗定。好，进去吧。碗。
No food in there. Just some tiny crumbs.
这边也有墙壁。换主角时间也回到分开前，对，应该差不多是那个时间了，因为他们两个是同时进行调查的。
I wonder, what's the story behind this bricked up passage?
肖像。好像没有地方可以点。一大堆照片，动。
not sure about its usage. It simply looks like
PS 过的
hole.
看起来就像一个洞。
The clock is dead at the stroke of midnight.
好，中停在午夜。
My name is Luca. At your service.
客房在楼上，对吧？
The guest rooms are upstairs, right?
Sir, only the guests who are chosen are allowed to see the room.
只有被选中的人才能看到客房。我怎么样才能被选中呢？
How can I be chosen?
Sir?
You said I have to be chosen to go upstairs.
Right. I don't know how you can be chosen.
But who's choosing? And why?
Mr. Wilde. He's not here at the moment, and I don't know when he will return. Apologies, sir.
我在找哈图尔博士。
I'm looking for Dr. Hatur. I have an appointment with him.
No, you don't.
Excuse me? How would you know that?
The warden takes no visitors here, only in the asylum. And I trust you are well aware you don't want to be a patient of his.
你能告诉我博士的房间在哪里吗？
Can you tell me where the doctor's room is?
I don't know where it is.
What do you mean? You are the receptionist here.
I never saw Mr. Golden's room. I only heard about it from Mr. Wilde.
I have to speak to Mr. Hatur, not Mr. Goldin.
I know, but like I said, I never saw his room. Dr. Hatur resides in Golden's
哈图尔使用各丁之前的
How
房
is
间
it。possible that you don't know each and every room in this building? Have you just started working here?
No, sir. I'm working here for quite some time, actually. But I'm not allowed to see Golden's room, and I don't know where it's located.
How can I find Hatur then?
I don't know.
Is he even in the lodge?
Yes, he is. Look, you should probably ask Mr. Wilde about everything you
王
need
尔
or
德先
want.
生，
I'm just the receptionist here.
那王尔德先生在哪里呢？
Where is Mr. Wilde?
He's not here.
I know. I can see that. Where can I find him?
You can't. He finds you.
那边那条钻封的通道
That，bricked up passage over there.
Yes?
What happened?
It was bricked up.
Why?
Oh, I'm not sure, sir. That was long before my time. I just heard stories.
Tell me more.
I can't. All I can say is there is another way to get inside that room.
Where? How do I find it?
I don't know, and if I did, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
好累的对话
Sir.。
你有猫或者狗吗？
Do you have a cat or a dog?
No, we don't.
Then why do you have a bowl down there?
That belongs to the king in yellow.
那是属于
You
黄
want
衣
to
之
tell me
王
who
的。
that is?
No, sir, I can't tell you who he is.
黄衣之
Mr.
王，
Wilde is
果然
the
还是克苏鲁吗？
This king in yellow. Cat or dog, whatever it is, could be the key to find Mr. Wilde. And if I can get to him, I would be allowed access to Hatur's room.
那我走啦。
Luca, if you'll excuse me.
Certainly, sir.
然后来看看这些画。
I see an executioner talking to small-sized men and women.
刽子手跟矮小的男男女女说话。
Pula. Seems to be a painting of the place. An old coastal town with a Roman Colosseum.
这是刚开始吗？2个小时了。
Several people were calling for help, drowning in the ocean.
几个人在呼救，淹死在海里。天使们从安全的天空俯视他们，为自己感到自豪。
Elderly women dancing with a tall
死了很多人吗？好像是2个吧。
bonfire. They seem to be happy. A man standing at the entrance of the forest, weighing whether he should venture forth.
可以上去吗？
I'm not allowed to go upstairs.
这边可以走吗？这边可以走。哎呦我的天，什么东西？半身像，一大堆半身像。
Franco Merzel.
搞不好是赞助者。
Martin Zudervliet. Natalia Timo Renate Zimmerman Victor the 100
还有婴儿，还有一个从墙壁上被推下来的啊，墙壁上推下来的，但是只发现了一颗头而已啊，那这样总共是3个。
Patrick Paverick Meyer
对吧、连小孩子的话是3个。
Fran Merzel
一高一矮。
Zazu Peter Stiebel Lake Kubilius Michael Schminder
不知道哎，可能是吧，要不然好像也没什么机关。
Jensen Cook Ivan Goldin 看一下什么地方可以调查的，好像没有了哈，就只有这些雕像可以调查，其他都是额外的，没有额外的了。所以旅馆的部分就到此为止。VKJP 有人对应到吗？不知道哎，我没有很好的记得他们的名字。目前就是 K 没有对应到嘛。我看到了黑暗的房间跟里面的人影。I saw the dark room and the figures in there.
We call it the bust room.
Who are those people?
Not people, just sculptures made in their honor.
That's what I meant. Why did you decide to honor those people?
I decided nothing, sir. The owner did. Fran Merzel.
Who are they?
Fran, the previous owner who renovated the place. His son, Ranko, who served as fresh meat for the crows earlier today.
湖蓝跟兰科
The original owner of this building, who also designed and built it, and several former guests who had lost themselves.
迷失在外面迷宫中的前客人。
They died in the maze?
A few of them are still alive, but lost mentally, for eternity.
How's that possible?
The maze is a dangerous place, sir. As old as this very building. No one alive or mentally stable knows what's really at its core. It was devised by Mr. Golden for reasons known only to Mr. Wilde.
He's been inside the maze. Mr. Wilde?
He was.
王尔德这个名字好熟哦，是有什么典故吗？
If Mr. Wilde chooses you, you are safe to go. Otherwise, you venture into your doom.
王尔德好像没有，总觉得好像在哪边听过这个。为什么会有人想要进入迷宫呢？
Why would anyone want to go inside the maze?
There are stories going around. The townies, especially the elderly ones, say that
莎士比亚作品里的角色 ，OK。
Some people come to Sveti Kotar only for the maze.
传说中迷宫中间摆了一个宝藏。
Fools.
有人可以强行穿过灌木墙或将他们完全砍倒啊
Someone could just force his way through the wall of shrubs or take them down entirely.
The maze cannot be touched.
不能碰触
To do so, and the shrubbery is deadly poisonous.
戈尔丁先生是谁
Who is Mr. Goldin?
The architect employed by the church in medieval times. He came to town with the Inquisition, designed and oversaw the construction of the castle, church, and court. He liked the place so much he decided to stay and built this lodge for himself. Lived with his cats until he vanished one day. Vanished forever.
What happened to him?
Disappeared. That's all I know. Mr. Wilde surely knows more, but
王尔
he
德
doesn't want
戈
to
尔
tell
丁
anyone.
Luca, if you'll excuse me.
Certainly, sir.
好，旅馆内部结束了。 天降奇兵有啊有啊，我还蛮喜欢的啦。所以这个应该是迷宫吧，看起来像是被草丛隔出来的道路。下面呢，我们最后等一下再去那个地方好了，先来这边。让话代替他老去哦，有啊，不死人嘛，好像是他的名字，好像他的那个就是他的里面称呼他的方式是不死人。王尔德写下那个故事的作者哦。船
Just a boat, floating alone in the fog.
小孩子，你好，年轻人，你叫什么名字
Hello, youngster. What's your name?
Anton.
安东，你在这里做什么？道林格雷的画像。爱尔兰作家奥斯卡·王尔德。
What are you doing here?
Fishing.
在这边钓鱼。
It's dangerous to be out here.
安东落法有点严重。
Especially for a child.
Why?
Didn't you hear what happened to your mayor? And what about those moon things?
You mean the moon ghouls?
Moon
I saw them
ghouls.
once here on the lake.
落法有点严重。他们长什么样？他们是什么
What do they look like? What are they?
Yellow. Their whole body is yellow.
全身黄色
Except for the，
除了脸。
faces.
哦
They don't
，Jackie，Hello，
have
你好
faces.。Their faces are shadows.
他们没有脸，他们脸是一片阴影。
You were hidden somewhere?
They saw me, but they could do nothing. Dr. Hatur was taking them away.
Where did he take them?
I don't know. The doctor told me to go away. I didn't look back. He's always good to me. Always gives me food. Says I have to gain weight.
所以安东有遇到食尸鬼，不过那些食尸鬼被典狱长带走了。你的钓鱼成果怎么样？
How's your fishing going?
Badly.
Wouldn't you need a fishing rod, net, or anything that could help you with that?
I'm not trying to catch them. I'm just calling them. I want to see them.
只是呼唤他们，想见他们。那些人是可以控制的，你是指那些人是指有备用的鱼饵吗
Do you have spare bait?
Why?
I need food for a pet. He is hiding, and I need to lure him out.
You want to see the king in yellow?
How did you know?
He's beautiful. That is why. Everyone wants to see the king in yellow.
每个人都想见到黄衣之
What
王
are。you doing, kid?
怎么了？
That must be painful.
Take it. This will definitely help you. He loves my skin.
他喜欢我的皮肤，一块皮肤。
Mother Evelina says I can't feel pain. I use skin to cool my mother and father too. But they don't seem to love it. Only the king in yellow does.
只有黄衣之王喜欢我的皮肤。
But don't do that anymore. It could be dangerous if it gets infected.
这片湖在我看来是似乎毫无生气。你确定这是钓鱼的好
The
地方
lake
吗？
seems lifeless to me. Are you sure this is the right place to fish?
I know it is. Mother Evelina told me.
So your mother told you to
伊芙
come
琳
to
娜
this very pier at night to try to catch some fish? She must be an exemplary parent.
She is good to me. She loves me. Look. She made this dress with bells just for me. Others don't have dress like this.
其他人可没有这样的衣服。其他人，他们是谁？
Others? Who are they?
My brothers.
为什么他会给你一件带铃铛的
Why
衣
would she
服？
give you a dress with bells?
I can call for help when others are mean to me. Evelina always comes.
Why do you let your brothers be mean? Fight for yourself.
I don't want to be mean towards strangers. Mother Evelina says it is impolite.
Your siblings can't be strangers to you. You live in the same house, eat the same food, maybe even sleep in the same room.
We live together, but they are still strangers. See, I think they know where their parents are. I don't.
Kid, are you all right?
No. I want to find my parents.
So, Evelina is not your mother?
She told me my mother and father are living here now. Somewhere inside Lake Harley.
中的某处
I'm trying to call them. I want to see them.
所以他爸妈沉在湖底。伊芙琳娜是收养他们的人，孤儿院。你住在孤儿院吗？
Do you live in an orphanage, perhaps?
I live in a big house. Above our roof is a giant tower with giant bells. And we have a big courtyard. With a big wall and tall trees that prevent demons and evil spirits to visit us when they leave their underground beds.
You know, when I was your age, I lived in a house such as yours.
Evelina was your mother too?
No, my mother's name was Olga.
Was she as good as my mother?
She always protected me from my brothers and sisters.
You also had a dress like mine? With bells?
No, but I would have loved to have one.
对啊，不切个视角，啊，这个演出有点不足啦，的确是个缺点。
Goodbye.
水桶
It's empty.
空的。好，所以我们现在身上有一块皮肤了，真好。这什么信？信是看得到内容的吗？
I've already read it several times.
我已经读了好几遍了。信加安东有用吗？
An unattainable suggestion.
毫无意义的建议，好像不能划船。有什么动作要素啊？没有，这片是点击为主。
Just a boat, floating alone in the fog.
OK， 好，所以我们可以拿个皮肤来看看能不能把黄衣之王引诱出来。应该只是小猫小狗的名字吧。等一下，这个主角有地图吗？这个主角在这边，没有地图啊，所以那个尼古拉可以去刚刚的第二间礼品店去拿第二份地图，地图还是分开的。OK， 一块皮肤，皮肤加碗。黄衣之王出现了。
Mr. Wilde has chosen you.
Where is he?
You called him. He answered. You can see him now.
This room is the same as before, except for this yellow cat that just showed up.
That is him. The king in yellow is Mr. Wilde. Mr. Wilde is the king in yellow.
王尔德先生是一只猫。
Mr. Wilde is a cat?
Mr. Wilde is the name of his earthly being.
是他在这个俗世的名字。灵魂是黄衣之王，名字是王尔德先生。
He loves to eat human skin, but I think he chose you because of the circumstances.
What circumstances?
Strange is the night when dark arises on a strange night like this with a full moon.
黑就是王衣之王，也有道理哈。
The lost man lost in Carcassonne woods. Dr. Hatur sang today's circumstances in sorrow, but the king loves this song.
So what now?
Ask the king in yellow. I'm just his servant.
I have to talk to a cat. Is this man one of Hatur's patients on the loose?
好吧，我们来试着。好吧，没有想到真的是写黄衣之王，我还以为应该是写王尔德先生，结果居然是写黄衣之王。请问我能上楼吗？我得跟哈图尔谈谈。
I would like your permission to go upstairs. I have to talk to Hatur.
The king says you are not allowed. You may, though, go to his room.
If I don't go upstairs, where can I find his room?
There is a passage leading to it. The king will not help you find it, but neither will he obstruct you.
What are you doing? What's going on?
好，分开了。
I'm not allowed to see it. You are free to step inside.
这条路只进不出。
It is a one-way pass. Once you get in, there is no coming back.
好，这边可以通往哈图尔的房间。我可以进入迷宫吗？
Can I go into the maze?
The king says you are allowed to go.
Nothing bad will happen to me?
You are afraid of who you are.
What does that mean?
That it is safe for you. I'm only the messenger. The king says you may go. Do not seek further instruction.
不要寻求进一步的指导。
Don't look back. Not everyone has this opportunity.
打扰了，去吧，别回头。
Excuse me.
You are free to step in once you.
Excuse me.
所以我应该去走外面的迷宫吗？还是应该这是通道？这个通道应该是没办法选的吧
If Luca told me the truth, there should be another way into this room.
OK 啊，说不定这条路就是通到这个房间，这个房间就是那个哈图尔的房间吧？这片好玩吗？还没办法决定。哈图尔就是哈斯塔吧？哈斯塔，可是现在不是把哈斯塔跟黄衣之王当成是同一个吗？好像很多地方都直接把黄衣之王叫做哈斯塔。保存可以存档，可以存档。哦，原来是手动存的。对啊，所以黄衣之王在这边的话，那个哈图尔应该就不是黄衣之王。前提是这只猫就是黄衣之王啦。好，那我们进去吧。
Lucas said it's not possible to come back. Am I really ready to go in?
给选择了吗？还没有。
Not yet.
自问自答。好了，那我们去外面看一下那个迷宫好了。S 要不要发音？应该要吧，因为中文都翻成哈斯塔了，我也不知道。外面有窗户可以进到那个小房间吗？至少没办法从这边调查，这边没办法调查了。啊，这里就是迷宫。哈，我们之前有得到什么提示吗？我们只有得到了黄衣之王的给我们的保证。这是直走，直走没有用。右手边。这边也是路，伤脑筋。哦，感觉要画地图了，可是这是怎么说呢？ 符合物理构造的地图吗？还是说会到处乱接？画地图也没有那种的那种迷宫，这边是死路了。走左边，那我要回得去才行。哎，回来了。之前有拿到过什么线索吗？为什么我的尝试有 Lovecraft 世界观，但没有王的？所以就离开了，好吧？王尔德算是很常听到的东西吗？抱歉。哎，这边已经是死路了。如果传说是真的的话，这个迷宫里面是藏着宝藏的啊！这边也有路。嗯？糟了，我们还要继续尝试吗？哼。应该是要解得开。哎，居然莫名其妙走到了，这就是迷宫的核心。好，可以通往另外一个地方，往下跳吗？
If the maze is as old as the building, then this oak tree should be as old as both, if not even older. Is it possible that a treasure is hidden below? I want to know. I descended steep stairs and walked through a long tunnel to get here, at the bottom of the lake.
湖底。哦，这里有成就呢，存一下。椅子。
A long dead corpse is resting here.
No， 头。
He died looking at the beauty of the water above.
看着上方美丽的水面，死了。徽章。15世纪教皇的徽章。无辜的巴士。
Condemned it and made sure to hunt and exterminate those who practiced it.
哦，我们拿到了吗？杂志。
Looks like a journal to me. I'll take it.
戈尔丁先生。哦，这就是戈尔丁先生。
He died look.
就这样，可能对于主线的进展是没有影响的。这个人的移动真的是不太聪明啊！然后还要再走出去，走得出去吗？这。
I could get out of here quickly.
走出迷宫，哎，还有别的那个吗？还会有别的岔路吗？走出去了。 然后就进去里面看一下那个秘密通道通往的地方。啊，这个店员还蹲在里面看看书，有办法看吗？戈尔丁先生的日记，对啊，就是这些拿到的东西好像都没办法，可以吗？啊，没有，是对到后面的钟。
Think clearer and harder.
好好想想，不要做没有意义的举动。
An unattainable suggestion.
好了，走进去吧。那先存档。
Lucas said it's not possible to come back. Am I really ready to go in?
好，我要进去了。
I'm going in. What is this place? It's like I entered into a hellish nightmare. And there's no going back now.
看看 PS 话来不及了。只有三个东西可以调查吗？好像没有东西可以点。有名字。
Antun Fero Istarski.
安东。
Antun Fero Istarski.
Antun Fero Istarski.
How is this possible? I remember this painting from the orphanage.
来自孤儿院。这是尼古拉以前待的孤儿院，也有这幅画，这也太恐怖了吧！子民。
My brothers and sisters from the orphanage. Horrible souls deserve a horrible fate. My brothers and sisters from the orphanage. Horrible souls deserve a horrible fate. My brother.
修女跟牧师。
My mother. The only person who stood up for me. My father. He used to tell me I'm nothing but a sin, and called me God's degenerate.
上帝的废品。等一下。怎么了？
I must be losing my mind. Mother, is that really you?
没有，我们先看这第三幅画。你先等一下。这是谁？
Kelly Sue Drayton.
凯莉苏德雷顿。谁呀？不知道。母亲。我为什么会见到你？
Why am I seeing you?
孤儿院里的话，他怎么会落到这个地方来的？
The painting from the orphanage. How did it end up in this place? Lies. In the real painting, I was standing by your side, and there were no other children.
Follow me.
追随我。
Mother.
走掉了。
I was waiting for you.
Demonic slave. Where is she? Where's my No!
刚刚那个就是哈图尔博士。好，终于轮到这边了。那个哈图尔博士可能把维多利亚带走了。 对，那个尼古拉就是追过去要找这个博士，所以我可以从这边离开了吗？
I should wait here for now.
啊，什么意思？什么意思？所以其实我们这边本来就还有事情没做完吗？只是我们提早切过去了，但是这边其实还有事情可以做，可以去2楼。啊，这女的还在收东西，可能要去2楼吧。算了
，Never mind。
好，去看一下吧。啊，2点了。OK， 阳台看一下好了，还蛮在意那个阳台的。还有东西吗？乌鸦的头不见了。要休息吗？应该差不多了，差不多了。典狱长干的。画也被挂回去了。地毯。
For some reason, someone decided to wrap the carpet and put it here.
继续嘛，大概礼拜1吧。
A giant bowl made out of clay, filled. It's a giant tree with dozens of corpses hanging from its.
明天跟后天是预计了那个机械学报告的。
This bookshelf was full of books before. A lot of them are missing now.
好像没东西。书上面就这样。打巴掌好像是排在下礼拜5吧。我有放那个行程表了。我记得好像打巴掌是下礼拜5了。那个时候还图很好笑。对，是灯有用吗？
I don't need it.
不需要它。对，这些还没有调查。对，这个女的出现之后，1楼还没有调查过。
Reminds me of Victoria in her younger days, back when I could rely on her instead of having to fear her.
好，水波。
The blasphemous basin is destroyed.
亵渎的水盆已被摧毁。然后壁炉，
Hideous. It's full of
到处的死乌鸦，
dozens and dozens of them.
几十只。有新的话题吗？壁炉全部都是死乌鸦。
The fireplace. It's full of dead crows.
I know. I've put them there.
Why?
To get rid of the bodies. Why else? But I am all out of matches, so for now, they just have to lay in the cold. You don't mind, do you?
No, not at all. It's your house.
But you're my guest. It's my duty to make your stay comfortable.
This woman and her house are beyond salvation.
烧了会很臭吗？不是应该很香吗？
Never mind.
虽然不知道烤乌鸦能不能吃啊，不过也是肉嘛。这样子话题都结束了吗？或许我们要把这个门打开吗？
It's locked.
烧焦跟煮熟是不一样的东西。然后再来就，等一下啊，这边还可以走，这边还可以走。羽毛要拔吧？羽毛烧起来的话，应该是油脂的味道吗？羽毛应该是羽毛上面应该都是，应该有很多的油脂吧？ 好吧，到这边吧。所以我们接下来应该要往这个方向走。所以他就要去，他要往森林走。保存。对，这样子我们就要进到森林里面去。OK， 哇，到这边吧，到这边吧。好吧，并没有什么很多紧张刺激的桥段。好，希望后面可以渐入佳境吧。对，应该是礼拜一，预计是礼拜一吧。好，感谢，谢谢大家，谢谢大家。好，喝水了。